guys. I have no idea what even the first word was.
And some pretty big stars have come along since 2024.
Yeah,
Karen,
we've had
tell us a little bit about that?
an amazing lineup. So, so far we've had some real headline names. So we've had the likes of Tom Jones, Billy Ocean, the Sugar Babes, Status Quo, Ocean Colour Scene, Red Rum Club, who are our official ambassadors for the site as well. The K's, the Farm, all sorts of different headline acts from different music types, different audiences, and it's generated huge footfall to the area.
Yeah.
The site is 3,000 capacity, and most of our events have been at sellout.
Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to episode 6. I'm now to use two hands of Big Onion Radio, and we are back in the place where we were born, in the business centre of the Big Onion here at Bootle Strand, live. Well, we're not live, but we kind of are live now. Yeah. At the heart of the community. So we've been to Southport, we've been next door, we want to go to other places, and one place we would like to go to in the future is the Salt and Tar. We're going to be introducing Karen Yates in a moment. You may not realise this, but I am a bit under the weather today. I know Chris is,
Just sat in the middle of him.
Sick all night with food poisoning. Be careful, folks. How are you two doing before we introduce our wonderful guest?
We're good, thanks.
Yeah.
We're good, thanks. Rested and recuperated over the weekend. I know it's been a busy weekend, a lot going on in the borough. But yeah, we're good. We're good, thanks, Tim.
Good.
Yeah, no, I'm great, to be honest. I was saying before we came on that a little business idea for anyone out there: size 13 jeans for us women that are too small for a 14, and then you have cake on the weekend because it's your mum's birthday, and then you can't fit in your size 12 jeans. I was fuming. So I need someone to create size 13 jeans.
That's a whole other conversation.
I know that, but still.
Just
for giving it a shout out to the industry. No, I don't want elastic jeans, I want actual jeans.
Well, I always had this between 34-inch jeans and 36, so, similar for us.
All I was going to add to that conversation is really that since I've got my bus pass, my special bus pass, those stretchy waistbands.
I know.
It's all good. By the way, I don't know if you can pick it up through the sound, but there's like some drilling going on because basically that side of the Strand is being renovated at the moment, and it's all part of the Salt and Tar as well, which we'll talk about in a second. So Karen Yates, great to have you on board. How are you? Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us about the Salt and Tar?
Yeah, fab. Thanks for having me.
No
my name's Karen. I lead on Salt and Tar, which is a project that's run by the tourism team at Sefton Council. And Salt and Tar was a meanwhile use idea back in 2023 when the council were trying to figure out what to do with the space and the redevelopment of the Strand. So they decided to launch a couple of events which ended up being amazing for driving footfall and bringing people to the area. So I joined in 2024 and we've been running music festivals and community-led events there since then.
And some pretty big stars have come along since 2024.
Yeah,
Karen,
we've had
tell us a little bit about that?
an amazing lineup. So, so far we've had some real headline names. So we've had the likes of Tom Jones, Billy Ocean, the Sugar Babes, Status Quo, Ocean Colour Scene, Red Rum Club, who are our official ambassadors for the site as well. The K's, the Farm, all sorts of different headline acts from different music types, different audiences, and it's generated huge footfall to the area.
Yeah.
The site is 3,000 capacity, and most of our events have been at sellout.
That's amazing.
I know I went to the weekend that Status Quo and Tom Jones were there. I had to come and see Tom Jones, didn't I? A fellow countryman. But yeah, I was just blown away. I thought the space worked so well. Right, I thought the staging and the lighting and just the whole atmosphere there was just fantastic, and long may that continue. But
yeah,
did you get somebody like Tom Jones to come to Bootle?
It's all about who you know.
Don't we know?
Yeah, no, we've got a really great team that are helping us with the music festival. We're working with Sound City, who are our promoter contact to the music industry. So yeah, we've got some really good contacts helping us like deliver the festival as a whole. But I think what's made Salt & Tar so special has been the fact that it's been part of the Regeneration project of the area as well. And it feels authentic. It's down on the canal side. It's got a real sort of industrial feel to it still. It's not trying to be something that it's not. It's evolving every year. And I think the fact that it's an outdoor venue as well on the canal side, it means every event there is very different. The British weather can influence that, but people are just embracing that. So even if it is a wet day, then it just makes sometimes it even more special. There was a Red Rum gig where the heavens opened and everyone just got soaked but embraced it, and it was like one of the most memorable events as well.
You know, a music festival unless it rains.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah,
I think one thing for me, before I know there's a fair few questions, because it's great having you on. First person from Sefton Council as well, long may it continue. But for me, I think, you know, that part of the Strand was almost like the forgotten part of the Strand. You know, Big Onion was down there for the first few years and we found it tough because it's not in the main shopping area. I think the future, with where it's positioned, it's going to be transformational, isn't it? Because that's going to be a new entrance into the Strand, isn't it?
Exactly, and the demolition works that have now just been completed have opened up, so it's going to effectively add a whole new public ground space from Stanley Road, leading through down from Stanley Road to the canal side. So there'll be like a slope and step approach to the canal side, which will no longer be fenced off. It's going to be an open asset for the public to enjoy, and then that's their entrance into which will be the new Salt & Tar. And we're scoping out what the new Salt & Tar will look like at the moment as well. It's not going to be exactly the same coming back. We're going to be a bigger space, so we're going up to around 5,000 capacity for when we have the major events on. But we want there to still be an active space when we haven't got the major events on. So that's all being figured out at the moment and scoped out with feasibility plans. And yeah, it's exciting times.
It is exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
I went to the International Festival there last year, and again, the weather was against us, but it was a lovely day. All the people were there enjoying themselves. There's some good sheltered regions as well, using those containers and marquees and stuff. And also there was loads of stalls on it. It was like an indoor market going on at the same time, which was really good too.
I think this has been a part, a sort of whole, kind of a word to say, a whole other sort of branch to what Salt & Tar offers. So we have the major music festival, which has really put us on the map, and it's generated the awareness and has driven the visitor footfall and the visitor economy. But then the other element of Salt & Tar is the community-led events that we've done and that we've ran, and they've included, as mentioned, the Bootle International Festival, which has really helped to shine the spotlight on the amazing culture and creativity that exists already in Bootle, and that was ran bringing together 23 different community groups from within Bootle to showcase their talents and their culture. And then we also have launched the Teenage Market, which was a franchise.
It started in Stockport,
started elsewhere,
and
and we've sort of taken it we've taken the brand on, but it's purely Sefton young people, so from 8 to up to 28, and they are provided with a free stall, and they can basically sell their creations, whether that be their bracelets or woodwork or paintings or fabrics that they're sewing together. So it's for an entrepreneur, it's a first step into what a real life sort of marketplace environment would feel like and look like. So that's been amazing. We had the One Show come down and feature us on that.
But with the teenage market as well, it's something we touched on. Obviously, Merseyside Expanding Horizons and Safe Regeneration, who we'll come on to later because there's a story with them and Salt & Tar. You know, we run the business startup program there, so it's something, if that's happening again, teenage market this year, we're more than happy to lean in on that and lend our support, because we've got one under 28-year-old here today, our Dan, you know, and there are a number of people that have come through the program who are under 28, and so it'd be very interested in something like that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And it fits in with Launchpad as well, helping young people into where, into training and into to different like kind of business and enterprise opportunities. But I think the Salt and Tart such a great use of space. I've been to some events, you know, where post-industrial spaces are used well, and I just think it really adds to things. However, it is changing. What are you currently, you're moving out more into the community at the moment. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, due to the expansion plans and the redevelopment works within the Strand and Bootle, our site is effectively a working demolition site at the moment. So we've had to make the decision to not run events on that site this year. But we didn't want to lose the momentum and the excitement around everything that Salt and Tart is and what we're doing. So we've decided to take the music festival a little bit further down the canal, and we've taken it to the Lock and Key, which is a community pub, still within Bootle. And they've got an amazing, massive events field at the side of the pub, effectively. So they're going to continue operating the pub as normal. We're taking on the beer garden and then the event field, and the capacity of that site is actually more than what we've been operating at Salt and Tart. It's 3,700 capacity per event, so it's still a massive, major, large-scale event. And we're really excited. We've got an amazing lineup as well. So we've got Billy Ocean returning on the Thursday, to everyone's excitement. We've also got the Water Boys on the Friday, Saw Doctors on the Saturday, who are a big Irish crowd, I believe, and then Nile Rodgers and Chic.
Nile Rodgers?
Yeah, on the Sunday and Monday. So Sunday's already sold out, but there are still tickets going for the Monday. Right. So some really amazing names coming to Bootle. And yes, as mentioned, Salt and Tart on tour this year to the Lock and Key.
Yeah, I have to ask, have you had any of these sort of celebrity names come in with what they want in their dressing rooms? Are you able to sort of like say anything that you can kind of like tell us?
Interesting riders, but nothing too extreme that we've needed to commit to. Things like certain scented candles and things like that, and air fresheners, cool. and there's been no like certain peanut chocolates or anything like that. Nothing too demanding.
I was going to ask. Sorry, that you know, it's great that you're continuing. So you've kept keeping that momentum going and bringing back world-class acts again. And it's great for Safe Regeneration and the Lock and Key organisation as well, because I know they're a creative organisation that do lots of stuff, lots of music activities and arts activities and whatnot. And I know Brian and Jane and the team down there are super chuffed that, you know, you're coming down and going to be working in their space. Yeah. It's a big moment for them as well.
Absolutely. And I think sharing the love, isn't it? And sharing the opportunity for Bootle. And we've worked with the Lock and Key team throughout the whole of our journey, really. They've helped with our bar operations on our community-led events. So they've run the bar for us. And we've also worked with quite a few of the creative and cultural groups that they have within Safe Regen. So with a lot of, with everything that we're doing at Salt and Tart, social value is key to what we're doing. So it's not just about the event and that's it. It's about what that delivers for the area and for the people in the area. So we've worked with L20 Hub with their young journalists team, and they came down to the music festival and did like features, which was like hands-on, like live experience for them. We've also worked with Scrapyard Studios and invited them down on all the music festivals to have live event production experience. So they were working on the with the sound production team on the soundboards, spotlighting. One of them actually spotlighted Tom Jones. So when he was on stage, they were the one following him around. So and they all had backstage experience as well. So social value is really key for us in what we're doing.
It's become so important now. You know, we live and breathe it every day here. You know, bringing Big Onion onto the high street here, we see the impact that it has, and you know, certainly a project like yours, it does have a broader impact. You know, when all the lights and the microphones and whatnot have gone away, it's what you leave behind, isn't it? So it's got to leave that footprint. And I know if we're talking about broader regeneration schemes, it's got to leave that footprint, and people have to feel part of it, feel like they can buy into it, and it's making a difference to their lives.
Yeah, I think it's great that they've got that opportunity locally, that they, you know, talk a lot about sort of youth flight, and already you've highlighted that there's so much opportunity for them to have a hands-on experience without having to sort of leave to give it a go. Sometimes you think that you might be good at something and then you give it a go and you think, actually, I didn't like it, or, whilst I was there, I saw somebody else being a runner, I want to try that. And I think that's great that they've got an opportunity to just come and try.
Yeah. We've also now partnered with LIPA as well as an organisation. So we're providing...
So that's the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts.
Yeah, Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts. We're providing some of their students with hands-on experience at all of the cultural events in Sefton, not just Salt and Tar. But what they're really keen to start looking at is seed training and making sure that people within the borough know that attending that university is possible, and sort of not making it seem as something that they isn't for them. It's something to try and keep people in the area as well.
Well, that's good. You've got LGA.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've walked past, obviously, the space where Liverpool John Moores.
Oh, yeah.
They're a tenant here now, and they're engaged in Bootle. They've decanted themselves out, or an element of their services out into the community, because they, again, it's about looking at who's going to university, people's perceptions of university.
Yeah.
You know, they run accounting clinics, business clinics, law clinics, and things that people don't really know exist. Sort of thing. So it is great. I think, you know, that
similar
sort
concept
of side of the work
amazing.
that you do is really important.
Yeah, because it's about, I think now with, you know, a lot of the time a degree is just the starting point for certain industries. That, you know, masters is almost the minimum level of requirement, and if you are going into that, I think it's great now that there's all these outlets where you can go, like I just said previously, experience, try, so you pick the correct course for you. I think there was a time where you could go and do anything and it wouldn't really matter, because, I can try something else later down the line. But I do feel we are in a point in time where the decision, that early decision that you make, does have an impact.
Well, you know, I suppose the big issue, and this ties in with the creative industries, you know, we have quite a linear education system, don't we? You know, you go through your GCSEs and you go through your A-levels and you go to university, and you don't look outside that area of interest, or if it's an experience that exists within your household, or a lack of information or knowledge, how do you know what's out there? Things like Salt and Tar, things like Big Onion, you know, bring in different experiences. I was going to say, if you look at the music industry, the creative industry, it's so vast, isn't it? And there's so many different entry points for local people to get involved in the industry.
Yeah.
There's been some assessments done of the wider economic impact of Salt and Tar as well. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so we thought it was important to start capturing the impact of what Salt and Tar was having. So we assigned the opportunity for an economic impact report to an external provider.
Wow.
And they attended our music festival weekend and with questionnaires and questioned the attendees, and off the back of that then we received a full economic impact report on just purely the music festival weekend, so not everything else that we've been doing throughout the year, but purely the 4-day weekend. And stats came back, so there was a lot of stats. It's an amazing report, but some of the sort of highlights, the key stats that we've taken from it, were that 97% of the people that attended that weekend were there for the Salt and Tar Music Festival. So they came to Bootle for Salt and Tar. And 63% of those people would return back to Bootle even if there wasn't an event on. So it's starting to change those preconceptions of why visit Bootle. And I think that's huge. We've taken a lot from that, and it's sort of confirmed that our efforts and the idea of Salt and Tar is worth it and is needed for Bootle.
One thing I was going to ask, and I noted this when we did come to see Tom Jones or whatever, he kept saying, didn't he, "Hello Liverpool."
Yeah, I know.
Right? So brand Bootle.
Yeah.
Brand Bootle. So, you know, it's in Bootle.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's not in Liverpool.
Yeah,
I bet that must be a frustration, but such an opportunity for you as well.
It is. And it's just finding the balance, because we know Bootle isn't in Liverpool, but for an outsider, it's like if you were to go to somewhere in, I don't know, Manchester, and an outsider would see a region as a region. They don't know the specifics so much. And we have the challenge here, because I have gone to the promoters and said, when we're selling the tickets, it's got to say Bootle, it can't say Liverpool, that sort of thing. But from a ticket seller's point of view, what's going to generate the best sale of tickets is if someone knows where they're going, and they would outsiders would recognise Liverpool more so than Bootle. So it's just finding the balance, and now on the tickets, we make sure we've definitely at least got both, if not just Bootle, then we've got Bootle and Liverpool on there, so we're still getting that brand out there. There is, but it's growing, it's evolving, and
as you said, it's finding that balance, because you're also drawing people out of Liverpool to come, as well as the rest of us feeling incredibly proud that it's part of this borough. And going, it's on that line, on that train line that a lot of people call.
It's the Grand National thing, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's the Grand National thing. 75% of the Grand National course is in Sefton. Not in the. But does it ever get? No, it's always.
Don't worry, true or false as later. That's a good segue actually as well, because at the moment I know you're involved in the bid through Sefton Council for the Town of Culture 2028 for Bootle, which would lead to £3 million for 6 months of creative projects. So you're involved in that, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm part of the creative team pulling together the expression of interest for the bid. So the bid is into two stages. First stage is the expression of interest, EOI, if successful, well then 3 towns get put through to the full bid stage. The towns are broken down into large, medium and small based on the population, and Bootle falls into medium, but only one of those towns win. And the winners receive 3 million, and the 2 runners-up still receive 250,000 to deliver an element of their bid. So everyone's a winner if you get through the UI stage, and that's where we're at the moment. We're really focusing and driving Bootle forward for hopefully getting through the UI stage. And if successful on the UI stage, there's also a sum of money granted to help deliver that bid. So the strategy that we'll be able to pull together off the back of the process alone will be amazing for Bootle. It's already on the journey, it's already on this cultural journey, but it will really elevate and accelerate the process if we can.
That was my question, that if you get through the EOI, that there is a sum of money to help develop a fuller bid, which helps, doesn't it? Because otherwise it just falls on council resources and partner resources. And there's an awful lot of culture now. We were talking the other day, and it's an organisation who've just gone into Salt and Tar. They've been here, we've been helping them. An organisation called Broken Grey Wires, an arts organisation, as a collection of artists run by a woman called Liz Brady. Shout out to Liz, she's fantastic, right? But there's so many pockets of creativity in that.
There is.
It's just hope that the bid can bring those things together.
Bootle is buzzing, isn't it? It's like there's so much.
There's the strapline.
There's so much already, so much cultural creativity, organisations, community groups, all doing amazing things. To be able to shine the spotlight on that will be incredible. It's a really exciting time.
What's the timeline on that then?
So EOI deadline is the end of March. We'll find out if we're successful in spring. And then final announcement of the winner is November, December time. So this year, but it's a full year process.
Fantastic.
I've always been blown away at how small your teams are that are putting all of these events together. I've seen it in the Southport teams and the events that they put on there. You always think that in order to put on some of these shows like the air show, the firework championships and stuff like that, that they've got a team of thousands because the event is so huge and they're so well attended. And then you meet them and they're like, there's only you two. There's such small groups, and I think it's phenomenal at how much you're doing with such a small team.
Thanks.
I think it needs sort of a lot, because a lot of people do. You have had sort of, there's the naysayers out there. There's always somebody that wants to pull something down and find a hole in it. And I think I think that comes from misinformation, that they think all of this is being put together by a team of 1,000 people and stuff like that. So I do think it needs mentioned. Are you able to say how many are in your team specifically?
So this year it's me.
It's phenomenal.
But for the past 2 years, it's been me and one other. This year it's just me, and then we will be recruiting again because we're taking Salt and Tart on tour, and there's less ad hoc and sort of other events taking place this year. It's.
I think it's brilliant.
Organised.
Yeah, I applaud.
Just
I
on
really
that note
do.
as well, Lightport, you've been involved in Lightport. Do you
Yeah.
want to come through? We've got our special guest here. Carl, get the special guest on.
The boss is
No,
here.
no, you're
The
fine.
boss is here. Do you want to just smile for the camera as you come through? And lots of table promotes, we're giving you some free advertising.
Oh, God, hang on, there's a coffee.
Hey, you know this is going to be used by Carl, don't you?
Yeah, this
At least it's not last time, a little tiny head.
Yeah,
that was great.
from behind there.
Oh, it's all good. So you get Lightport. I know, Lizzie, you were up there as well. So, Karen, you've been involved in Lightport. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so less so me. It's more so the tourism, the rest of the tourism team that work on Southport. But I am there this evening helping meet and greet with my high vis and some glitter on my face. So look out for me.
So it's like a light show, isn't it?
It is. It's an immersive light experience. So I went on Friday night and was part of the sort of the invited press down for that sort of Friday night experience, and it really did blow me away, if I'm honest. And what sort of excited me most about it is the next morning when I woke up on Saturday, knowing that everybody was going to get to go then that Saturday evening, social media was filled.
Okay.
It was, everybody had posted. I think everybody that had been invited on that Friday was absolutely made up. And as a local person to Southport, you felt a shift. I thought it was incredibly moving, to be honest, to then go down on Saturday night when it was open to the public and see Lord Street that full.
Yeah,
I've
it's been
never
heaving.
seen the town that full.
Yeah.
And it was excitement, there was chatter, there was every age group possible there. People taking photos, chatting, should we go for an ice cream, let's get fish and chips. It did exactly what it was meant to do, which was ripple out and fill up bars, restaurants, pubs, and get people excited about the town centre again, which we know for several reasons is, it's a bit down sometimes, it's a bit so I thought it was great and it was very well executed. So,
and it's just the beginning.
it's just
It
the
is just the
beginning.
beginning.
It's number one.
Yeah, the first of a series of
Yeah.
extra events in Southport this year.
Yeah.
So there is Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
The Big Top and Books
Not
Alive
the
still to
football
come.
team.
No,
Not
the
the football
football
team.
So
team.
yeah, Crystal Palace is going to be a spectacle, an amazing, enormous chandelier is going to be erected on Lord Street, hanging from a crane while people trapeze off, and it's going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So that's
Is
cool.
that April, Karen?
April.
April, yeah.
And then Big Top is May.
Yeah.
And then Books Alive September.
Yeah, they've pinpointed it as much as possible so that it's able in sort of the half terms and the Easters and stuff like that to help with that footfall.
And these are all free
All
to
free.
attend, family-friendly events. Yeah.
And I think what when you were saying before about sort of getting local people involved, they've also reached out to the schools. Schools had provided artwork which, filled some of the windows in specific areas around the town, and it was great to see sort of that colourful sort of vibrancy.
Yeah. Also, as well, one of our business club members was engaged, wasn't she? She did the map.
Oh yeah,
So
Emmy.
our own Emmy.
Yeah, she was
Emmy
brilliant.
Oranges.
Yeah.
Emmeline Potter.
Yeah.
So she was engaged to do the town centre map.
Yeah,
And I know that's been on social media
Yeah, it's
all
been
over
everywhere.
the place, which is
And it was
great.
also handed out in leaflet form
In
as well,
leaflets,
which
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
brilliant. It was really good.
And
So
I
yeah,
think what
huge
we're
team
looking
event.
forward to is obviously Big Onion Southport is right in the firing line on Lord Street, so we're gearing up for Crystal Palace.
Brilliant.
And going to do something that weekend as well, because I think, again, as Lizzie said, it's wanting to put the town on the map, right, and for all the positives that go on there. So fantastic.
Well, that's it. I think, for the likes of the Southport Market, they extended their opening hours on Sunday evening because I think they were just made up at how many people had come on the Saturday, and that is a huge win. What a victory.
And just before we go to the break, you've been nominated for some awards. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I have. So, well, Salt and Tar has. So, Salt and Tar has been nominated for, it's become a finalist within the Liverpool City Region Tourism Awards as the best live event of the year in 2025. So, we will find out, that's in March, those awards, so we'll find out about that. And then we've also just been nominated for Liverpool City Region Culture and Creativity Awards for the same category. So that's really exciting. And then we were also awarded with Outstanding Contribution to Economic Impact by the Economic Institution. So yeah, really good stuff.
And it's great to be recognised. It's also great to have that feedback from places like LGMU about wider economic impact. And although we talk a lot about Southport and Bootle, we do recognise the whole of Sefton. We talk about other places in Sefton, people in Maghull, people in Formby. We want to hear from you as well, and we're looking to expand and talk about that. Right, we're going to go to a quick break and try and persuade Karen to stay on for the regular features later. Okay, see you later.
See you later.
Don't go changing.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Big Onion Radio. We're all about people and place. We've just heard about a fantastic place with a fantastic person, Karen Yates from Salt and Tar. Now, this wider economic impact, are you able to put a figure on that?
Yeah, so amazingly it generated $1 million of economic impact over that 4-day festival. So we're hoping in future years we'll be able to do more of these festivals to obviously then increase the impact year on year.
That's brilliant.
Fantastic.
And what other things do you want to mention? You've got some comedians as well that are a big part.
Yeah, so from the start, from when back it was a Meanwhile Youth idea, one of the other events that has done really, really well and has grown again year on year has been the comedy weekends. It started off as a comedy weekender. It was purely just about the comedians, and we've evolved that, where last year it became a fringe festival. So then it was a 4-day festival over the weekend. It had headline comedy. We had Big Comedy UK supporting us with the headline comedians, but we also decided to utilise the infrastructure that was there. We had massive marquee on site for 1,000 people, and we ran daytime events. So we had like wellness events, yoga, sound baths. We had daytime kids raves, so we had Big Fish Little Fish come and do kids raves, and then we worked with in the library at the Bootle Library, who were doing a archive project on Quadrant Park. They introduced us to John and Andy from Quadrant Park,
which was a big rave thing in the 90s.
So that last year they were celebrating their 35th anniversary. It was a huge rave scene back in the early 90s. And it was when in Liverpool, all the nightclubs were shut down. So the nightclub scene, the raving scene, came out into the suburbs, and it put Bootle on the map for a big raving scene. So it's still going. They're still doing their quad nights across the city.
I was going to say our director, Carl's involved at the minute.
Yeah,
you know?
And so it was the first time they've ever brought it back to Bootle. And it was a real moment in time, and I think the first of hopefully future events as well. When Salton Tar's back up and running and we're back at our home site, we're going to have the opportunity to explore more of these types of events within the Fringe Festival outlet as well.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it was brilliant.
Is there any one event that you're particularly proud of that you think, yes? Or is it just an accumulation? Because I'm sat here literally sort of sitting and going, you have an amazing job. Like
I do love my job.
Yeah,
I am very lucky. Yeah, I do. I genuinely love my job. I like the fact that I have so much opportunity to be creative and curate, if you know what I mean. I'm not just doing the same thing over and over again. It's different, and it's nice to be able to involve so many other people in everything that I'm doing as well. So it's not just my thoughts and my mind. I'm always taking inspiration from others. There isn't one event. There's each event has had different sort of highlights to it. So.
And what was Tom Jones like?
I mean, Tom Jones was incredible.
Come on, that is pretty mega. That's a superstar.
Do an impression or something.
No, we'll get cancelled.
The highlight of Tom Jones was looking up to Strand House, the block of flats that sits next to Salton Tar, and seeing someone hanging a ginormous pair of knickers out of the window, and just seeing everyone on the balconies and the sort of unrehearsed things of the event.
Yeah, you get to step out of it for a moment, because I can imagine it's quite stressful.
And
he's a megastar.
And also the canal activity. So
canal activity?
Yeah, so we host events, and we it is a contained event site, but you can't stop the canoes, paddleboards, and motorboats that come down to enjoy
the ingenuity of some locals.
Well, straight to Aldi Middle Isle for the blow up dinghy.
Yeah.
But there was some real characters on the canal side as well.
Great stuff.
I think it's really nice to be able to have those moments where you can then have that reflection, where you've just stepped back for a moment and you're viewing it, because it must be quite stressful on the lead up to it.
And a little bit surreal, if I'm honest. Like, I say, we've had Tom Jones and Salton Tar Bootle. I say it, but it's still a pinch me moment.
Absolutely.
I said it's probably the biggest single day. I mean, I was thinking back to the Blitz, which is quite a negative, but in terms of a single day, Tom Jones coming here is massive.
You know, when you got the King, right, Elvis saying that Tom Jones and Engelbert Humperdinck, right, two of the greatest singers in his view of all time. It's pretty cool. I had one of those come to Bootle. That is pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he was wonderful. The crowd loved him, didn't
Oh,
they?
he was brilliant.
He was just brilliant.
Still got it.
Yeah,
Still got it, indeed.
he's got it.
But this is great, and it's just great to have Salton Tar there and to have all this regeneration going on, but also to have those figures about the wider impact and the social impact. It's just great to get all this information together and out there, and hopefully we can help you with that moving forward. Speaking of which, we do want you to email us radio@thebigonion.co.uk. I've checked my notes. You can message, you can come on, people from other parts of Sefton as well. We have got lots of tentacles out there. Please do get in touch with us, and any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Also, please like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. Share with other people. Let's get the positive news out there, and let's make Sefton even better. Even the drilling. It's almost on cue there. In the background, but that's fantastic. And Karen, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
We're going to talk about something now which we kind of touched on last episode, but didn't get enough time to go into it, and that is setting healthy boundaries, not just in work and business. That bill's getting louder, but also in private lives. Now, you said, that's something I struggle with, and I certainly know that as a teacher, when I was even a teacher, the hours I put into my job as a young teacher, looking back, was profoundly unhealthy. And it's also about not being a people pleaser who says yes to everything in your private life, and not being one of these boundary people who say, like, if you leave any bits of toast in the in the butter or the margarine, it's game over. You don't want to be one of them. Just where do you stand on that, by the way? If someone else leaves a bit of toast in your margarine or butter, Chris?
I probably am a guilty one.
I was going to say, I was
Got
looking
legs
at
to
him
stand
straight
on.
away. Out of the four of us here, we'd be guilty of that.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, there was a lad I knew at uni who, if you left anything in the margarine, it was like a serious offence.
Wow.
I'm glad you said margarine as a student, because if you're buying butter, something's gone wrong.
Yeah. Although all those years they said margarine was healthier, and now apparently butter's healthier. You know, what is the truth of it? So do you leave stuff in the margarine, and how do you feel?
I'm definitely a butter person,
Yeah, I was
first
going
of
to
all.
say, yeah.
And yeah, I think I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Do you know what? You only live once, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of boundaries can be very hard for people to establish, depending on what you do, who you live with, and your family dynamics. And it is something that maybe I've struggled with in the past. And I've done a bit of research into this about setting a healthy boundary, particularly when it comes to work-life balance. And I think it is a lot more out there these days, the idea of work-life balance. How do you find balance from work and life?
So I would say some days I'm really good at it,
Yeah.
and then other days, the boundaries fall down. I think because of mobile phones now, people contacting you via a DM and email and this. You know, if something pings on my Instagram, because if people want to book my studio, for example, they tend to message through Instagram, and they can message at any time of the day, and some days I wait until a sensible hour to reply, but then last night I had a lovely message through and I was replying at 10 to 11. So it's hard, I think, sometimes to always put it in place. And there's not. I also feel personally that when people are messaging you about your business, you can't do the same thing as what you can potentially do with a friend, which is see a message, they can see that you've read it, and then you don't reply. I think if you open up that message for a business, you do need to then reply. So it is a case of, I'm not very good at it, is probably the answer that you wanted.
Well, some workplaces have a thing like you shouldn't send an email. I know some where you can send an email, but it won't actually go through until 8 o'clock the next morning.
You can schedule it.
And stuff like that,
I don't send emails, so if I am working in the evening, the emails don't go out until the following day. Nobody wants to be receiving a business email. I do remember that from my teaching days. That was the only thing that our head teacher put in place. He sat all of the teachers down and did say that, you know, fine if you are working in the evening, but, you know, some of us were sending emails at 11:30 at night, 1 a.m, 5 a.m, depending on what time people's lives and stuff they were getting to their computers. And he said, no, like, you're all going to end up on, you know, burnout. So everybody figured out how to schedule. So the emails are still available for an 8 a.m.
I have a journal if I need to do it, and it goes in the journal for the next day, and then I process it the next morning. That
I
really,
think you're quite
really
good
helps
at the
me.
journaling, though. I think
Doesn't work for everyone.
I'm more sort of, I'd try and keep as much of it in my head as possible, and that's probably where I go wrong.
Do you want to come through again, Nick, with your B&M? B&M, we're giving you some free advertising. What was it? L'Occitan en Provence? L'Occitan?
We'll edit.
No, can't believe it. But I do think it's important to set boundaries, but also, like, I think people's personal lives, and I saw this guy once who said about boundaries where sometimes people set a boundary in a personal life on the front foot, and he said the best way to do it is to say, listen, I'm really sorry, maybe I've missed something, but I'm feeling like this when you do that, and am I missing something here? Is there something we can discuss about how we can make that better? And I've actually used that a few times. What he also said, this guy, is he said the other person will push back. It's like, what are you doing it like that for? Because it's not a confrontation. And people are often used, like, your ego is up for a bit of confrontation, and it just takes the sting out of a situation. where if something's bothering you, you can say, this is bothering me. Am I missing something? Is there anything you want to say about that before you then introduce what the boundary is? Do you know what I mean?
I think boundary setting in personal life is 10 times harder than it is in your business. I think because a lot of friendships, and especially with family, you've remained that person throughout, and for them, you're just the same person. But you've actually changed. So when you do then start to set in that boundary, there is a resistance because they haven't changed. It's you deciding to go, I'm going to put this boundary in place now. So I do think that you have to be prepared to experience a little bit of awkwardness. You do have to sit in your, I hate the phrase, got to sit in your truth. You've got to sit in your truth and behind it. Like you've made that decision, so you've got to sit in it now. And because I don't think it's make your bed and lie in it, but you've got to. This is what I'm choosing. So you've then got to sit in the consequence of it, because it is uncomfortable. And I think that's why a lot of people struggle to make boundaries, because if you are a people pleaser, that uncomfortable feeling is horrendous.
I probably am of the view that, you know, technology has made us just accessible 24/7. Right? People now from all walks of life, whether they're your family circle or your friendship circle or just people on the outer circle, we're kind of so impatient now, aren't we? We want, if we send something, and certainly if we see that blue tick appear, we want it.
So, she read it.
Yeah, she's seen it.
She's seen it. She's not replying.
What's she thinking? You know, it is very hard, and you separating the personal from the professional, right? You know, certainly for somebody who's run their own business for a number of years, the next message could be $1 million message, right? So whether that comes in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday or 2 a.m. in the morning in the early hours of Monday morning, right? You jump on it, I think. I think everybody is very different as well, how they react to this. But certainly for me, you know, I think technology has made us now so accessible. We're still wrestling to come to terms with that. And if you look particularly at younger people, right, with technology, with their phones and with social media and whatnot, there's an awful lot that's now starting to worry, society about that exposure and all that can bring to young people.
I think that's probably one of the, because people are opting into this freely because they want to use these services, but they're then getting hit with the advertising, the algorithms, and it is having a big impact on people. I know my own mind. Like, my ability to read a book now, because of the attention economy, is far more different. And also on TV, you know, like if there's a quiet bit on a film, I'm like, do you reckon now that people they're doing scripts now, cognizant to the fact that some people are going to be on the phone while they're watching, so you can't have anything too elaborate on the screen, because people need to be able to follow while they're on the devices as well. So I don't know what the idea is.
The script was that, like, sometimes the longer, and he admitted that he did it for exactly what you're saying.
So Stranger Things adapted their script. But again, lots of young people are watching it. But
I would say I do enjoy still going to the cinema for the huge, big, sort of your blockbuster style of films. But used to go to the cinema for everything. And now, if there is sort of, where they put it on for like 2 evenings or something, they do like a pre-screening before it hits Netflix. There are certain things I would never go to the cinema to watch now because I would feel uncomfortable. I'd want to scroll, and instead, what I find myself doing is then eating. So I need something to do with my hands, so I'm like popcorn in.
I was gonna say as well, we know the statistics as well, that there are more single-person households now than there have ever been before. So in this kind of, it's a contradiction almost in a way, isn't it? We're more connected electronically, but there's more and more people feel isolated as well, lonely. And so it's a real sort of dichotomy for some, isn't it?
There's a great book by Olivia Lang, great writer, and she says you can be in New York, the busiest city in the world, and feel completely alone because you're in that kind of private space. And they call it stacker as well, where people are now watching the telly on the phone, on a dating website, having something to read, checking their email. But you can also do it positively, where if you go for a jog, you can put podcast on or some great music, or when you're cooking in the kitchen, you can be singing while you're doing it, or listening to a podcast.
The Big Onion Radio.
Yeah, or even just having a cup. Like when I pick my son up from school, listen to it. When I pick my son up from school now, I talk to him for the whole journey home.
Good.
And that's my positive stacking. So you can, there's positives and negatives.
I quite like that. I like the stacking.
Get off your phone. Unless you're watching us on your phone.
Yeah.
Put us in your headphones and go for a walk. But yeah.
Right,
I love that.
Can I just add there, and you three might be too young for this, but when we were kids, you know, why don't you switch off the television set and go and do something else less boring instead? Right?
And was that an advert?
Great show.
Well, you had to watch it on the TV.
It's great.
I have to say, my whole world's social media. That's my job.
Yeah.
But I do put posts out every so often. Well, at least once a week now to encourage people to get off their phone.
You're good at that. I like that message.
Yeah, I have to.
Is that
because
why I can't get hold of you sometimes?
Yeah, I'm off my phone. I'm off on a walk listening to the Big Onion Radio.
And while we're off on a walk listening to the Big Onion Radio, I want to tell you about Lunt Meadows in Lunt. It's kind of between Crosby and Formby by Blundell. And I think it's the best kept secret in Sefton. It's a beautiful nature reserve. I've been and seen a maximum of 10 people there at any one time. You can walk around in about an hour. It's very flat like the Netherlands. It's got like a river. It's got lakes, bird life, there's bird watchers there.
Anybody with clogs on?
You what?
Anybody with clogs on?
No windmill. Well, there are some turbines in the distance.
I love that.
Is it pram friendly?
Sorry?
Is it pram friendly?
I'm not sure about pram friendly, but it's dog friendly. And there was a woman there walking a newborn like strapped to her recently. We started talking to her because like there were so few people there. You spoke to the people around there. And that is beautiful because it's mindful. But I think it's £4 now to park, and it just opens a visitor centre. It used to be completely free, but I cannot recommend that space enough. I think it's amazing. And also, I want to tell you about the Lineker mission of the Methodist Church. Has got a huge Parliament-like build. Have you seen the meeting place in there? That could be the Parliament of the North of England. I think that space in there is absolutely beautiful.
So what is it? So it's the bit inside? Oh, a meeting room.
Like the church section.
Wow.
It must have hundreds of seats. It's like something from a film, like Game of Thrones, where they all meet and have this big conference.
Oh, wow.
Can we maybe shoot from there in the future?
We need to get in there.
Yeah,
you need to get
brilliant.
to Meadows as well. And
See what happens.
Well, what?
Can I give a shout out as well?
Yeah.
Are we on shout outs or?
Shout outs, good.
Shout what you want.
Last week, and there were a couple of us there. Shout out to Marine in the community.
Yeah.
We went along to Marine Football Club. And Graham, one of the, I think the head guy at Marine in the community, showed us around the grounds and the community space. They've got a little hub there. And there were probably about 20 or 30 community organisations. Ben, our very own Ben Towell was there, and Paula Fletcher was there. Fantastic facility again. I didn't even know it existed. And all thanks to that brilliant cup run they had in the FA Cup a few years ago, where they ended up playing Tottenham Hotspur. Graham was telling us they made an absolute fortune from that, and they've reinvested every cent of it in the pitch and in the facilities. But there's a fantastic little community hub there, and a real, again, ecosystem of community organisations doing some great stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Brilliant.
Right, so we have a little break before we do the regular features, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Right, we'll see you in a moment. Cheers, folks. Bye.
For miles, so it's more just cheap cocaine on race days. And waking up in piles of debt. Oh, how we wept, oh, how we wept, oh, how we wept. Cause he's emptied all his wages into the pockets of the boys that he hated when he was in his hometown, playing all his favourite sounds in the sun, in the sun, in the sun, in the sun. Put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on. Playing all his favourite sounds in the sun, in the sun, in the sun, in the sun. Put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on. Out for the night with dreams of easy women and a watered down pint, and he'll drink and snort and smoke until every single light blurs into one. And then he'll try and swim his way through a sea of Balenciaga bagged expensive cars on PCP, and he's stumbling over broken glass and broken dignity. I hope he doesn't get his face broken, though he's not much of a fighter. He just tells the girl he loves her when he doesn't even like her in his hometown, playing all his favourite sounds in the sun, in the sun, in the sun, in the sun. Put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on. Playing all his favourite sounds in the sun, in the sun, in the sun, in the sun. Put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on. So easily persuaded by his need to feel sedated, and the only way to get it is to empty all his wages into the pockets of the boys that he hated when he was at school. And he's so easily persuaded by his need to feel sedated, and the only way to get it is to empty all his wages into the pockets of the boys that he hated when he was at school. When he was in his hometown, playing all his favourite sounds in the sun, in the sun, in the sun, in the sun. Put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on. Playing all his favourite sounds in the sun, in the sun, in the sun, in the sun. Put 'em on, 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 put 'em on.
It's like midday.
Oh dear.
Well, this is it. Start the day well.
You're on.
You know?
You're on.
You're on, by the way. There's a head with a beard from behind.
Oh dear.
It's all good. It's all good, right?
There
We're
you
going to go
go.
through our regular features now. One is famous Seftonians. Now, we have mentioned Tommy Fleetwood in passing, but I don't think I've actually acknowledged that he is a famous Seftonian. Big golfer, one of the top golfers in the world. Funnily enough, apparently, one of the big golfers, we were talking about, you know, the little quirks that big stars have when you go somewhere and say, I want a hotel room like this. Apparently, Sergio Garcia asked for the house that he was staying in to be completely repainted for the 2 weeks that he was there, which is incredible.
Well, I would say that a lot of the buildings around the golf go for a lot of money during that time. It does bring in a different element to the economy for sure. But I went to an event the other day about the golf, and there really is so many opportunities for volunteers to get involved. There's going to be on Victoria Park, it's got like a campsite, so it's going to be a really active campsite. So there's lots of ways that you can get involved, and they've got a whole sustainability sort of clause running throughout it now as well, which is brilliant. So yeah, that's going to be an exciting time ahead as well.
So Tommy, there's 3 other famous Seftonians. One is Frank Hansen, who's in the Atkinson, there's a display on him. He's the creator artist of Dan Dare. He lived in Southport. I used to read Dan Dare when I was a kid. The Miko with its big head, but before the time of the younger people like yourselves. But you remember Dan Dare, don't you?
I do, indeed.
He was
Always in this segment, oh dear.
Welcome back to Big Onion. I'm going to make up some of
For our regular features of the records. It's all good. Dan, how are you over there, okay?
Henry Seagrave.
Dan's disowning us.
Nick's having a breakfast. Nick's having a breakfast.
Did he try on the beach?
I'm not sure, but he died. There's a few of them who've died who've gone for those things. It's a very dangerous thing. And also Adele Roberts, BBC Radio 1 DJ and reality TV personality.
I do know who that is. Yeah.
There you go. Right, we're going to move on to true or false. Karen, you can get stuck in here.
We're winning, Karen.
Yeah,
You're on our
10-6.
team, the winning team.
Okay.
I can't say that. I
Poker
don't very
face.
much.
Okay, true or false? There is a rare 8,000-year-old Mesolithic era hunter-gatherer settlement structures consisting of post holes and hearts at Lunt, Meadows and Sefton, which we mentioned earlier. And they are the earliest known dwellings in the area. Now that's all true, but are they 8,000-year-old Mesolithic stone pillars?
I suddenly felt like I was on University Challenge. That went so over my head. I have no idea what even the first word was.
Like Stone Age dwelling.
I heard big numbers.
Is it 8,000 years old, the Stone Age dwelling at Lunt?
So I think there is a dwelling there. I think that, knowing you now as I do, that it's something that's not that number.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. But I'm
He's led us to, he's led us to say, 8,000, because he's mentioned it 3 times.
Yeah.
Karen's looking at me in time.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the gang.
It was true. Okay, we'll calm down.
Oh my God. You certainly wouldn't have been my favourite teacher, that's for sure.
Had it written on the top, well, Mr. Short is
While we're on the subject of schools, there are 28 secondary schools in Sefton, not including special schools and alternative provisions. Is that true or false? 28 secondary schools.
I don't know, because there's
not gonna try
5.
it,
No, I'm not trying. No, but I'm already thinking this. I think there's already 6 just in Southport alone. I wouldn't have a clue any further than that.
So there's not that.
I'm going with false.
Yeah,
I reckon
I'm going
there's.
with false.
Yeah.
Would you reckon, Karen?
False.
Yeah.
False. Just
That's
a bit
true.
high.
Oh, this is bull.
Back up to 10-8 here.
This is terrible.
And finally,
I'm gonna cry.
is this true or false? The extinct title,
Oh, God,
the
I
title of the Earl of Sefton became extinct in 1972 when the 7th Earl died without an heir. Is that true or false?
Oh, I've become one of those kids now in the class that's turned off.
We've had 2 truths.
Yeah, I'm going with you're a liar.
False.
False.
That is true as well.
Which is also connected to Croxted House, isn't it? Because it's the same, same
Oh,
So
God.
that's 10-9. But we are going to have more fun, although I've had tremendous fun then.
I'm raging.
I'm blaming Karen.
Yeah, I am not your lucky charm.
Every now and again we're going to change that.
That's massive.
No, what you need. You just need shorter questions. I'd switched off halfway
I actually
through.
did nod off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make that crunchy and smoother in future. And it's just a bit of fun. We don't need to take it too seriously.
No, of course we
You don't
do.
need to take it too seriously. Okay, diving over the coffee table.
Yeah. You can get all this out, of course.
Competitive too.
While we're on competition Wales, the rugby, what's going on there?
Yeah.
I watched it yesterday.
We could dedicate a whole show to it,
Yeah.
right? There's a conspiracy theory that we're all Welsh folk are carrying around at the minute, but we like coming second in games at the minute. We perfected it, I think. We perfected it. But typically, again, bigger countries picking on the little countries. How dare they?
And also,
That's
Dan,
not causing international
Dan
incidents.
came in with a black eye this morning and said, do you want to tell us what happened there? It's a rugby wound, because Dan's a very good rugby player.
Rug boy.
Rug boy.
You're not Welsh in any way, Dan, are you? Because we need all the help we can get.
Proud to not be Welsh.
That's a bundle.
Right, we're going to wrap it up. Carl has been up and he's for most of the night ill. Well done, Carl, for today. Karen, thank you so much for coming on. There's so much I know about Seftonians, but the stuff I've learned today, and it's important to get this information out there. Well done.
Thank
you.
Good luck with
Thank
all your
you.
awards and all the wider impacts.
Yeah. Well
Thanks
done.
for coming on.
And also thanks to Lizzie and Chris for,
Being losers.
magnanimous indeed.
Yeah.
People out there, please like, subscribe, please email us on radio@thebigonion.co.uk with your feedback and if you want to come on. And let's do this, folks. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun. See you later, folks. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Well done.
Well